Hello and welcome back. I am Almrak. This is my second game from the Platinum 2 group of the 6th season of the Intermezzo Championship. So in the Intermezzo Championship, there are basically 2 rounds with 5 games in each round, and each of the players in the group plays in 3 of those 5 games in each round. So this is game number 2 of the group, which was the second of my games to finish. Thank you for watching these videos and for subscribing. Subscribing is like a win-win because you get notified when a new video is available, and it makes me feel really good and excited about doing this. And so I really appreciate it. Thank you. But with that, let's jump in, take a look at the standings and who is in the next game. And here we are back at the CGE tournaments page, looking at the Intermezzo Championship. And we are in the Platinum 2 group. And after one game, we are tied for first place with 5 points. We're tied with Blix LT and Tecusto 2, but Blix LT has finished 3 games and only has 5 points, whereas Tecusto 2 and us have finished 1 game. Now this next game has Tecusto 2 in it and Ricicle, so we'll see between us and Tecusto 2 who can win and pull into first place. So let's take a look. Yellow takes, red takes Engineering Genius, and we are up in second place. Okay. Either Hammurabi, Cleopatra, or Richland and Urban Growth. Let's see. So Colosseum, Roman Roads, Stonehenge, Colosseum's out. Maybe blue takes it. I might do that here just to get some extra resources for whatever wonder we grab. It does make civil actions a little tighter later, but I'm going to try this and we'll just see how it goes. We'll be in a bit of a crunch, but that is... Blue takes Richland and Cleopatra. So we're not getting Cleo. And red takes Hammurabi, Lexim, and takes the Colosseum and builds a mine. And in the first spot, don't need to worry about having a population. Okay, so there's Hanging Gardens and Colossus. I guess really I want to do this also. And then to get my Colossus, and then Hippocrates or Ashoka. Yeah. Now let's just go ahead and elect him. And then it is riskier because we need a leader to come out. We'd be able to hold on to Ashoka for a while longer, but I just feel like playing Hippocrates here. So we're going to do it. Early Isabella. We could switch there. We didn't see a territory, but we do have Colossus. So maybe. Blue elects Cleopatra, builds a bronze, increases population, and takes frugality. And red takes iron, Richland. Nice. So the iron does not make it to me, unfortunately. I would have liked it. Alchemy's here. I don't have an event to play anyway, so it would not have helped to have a population. So probably going to do that at least. And then we could take Isabella in preparation. We can elect her next turn. I mean, she's never bad. Resource is not bad. Plus a couple of blue cubes are very flexible. Plus if we get a territory, it would be nice, but it's a risk. But we might not see a leader for a while. So I'm okay with it. Or take breakthrough. So I think it's okay. All right, that's nice. Two nice leaders pop out here. So yeah, they would have been good. But we'll see how Isabella holds up. The blue takes engineering genius, builds a lab, takes swordsman and monarchy. Red takes Janzitska, elects him, takes knights, finishes Colosseum. So that's kind of a scary thing to be up against at this point. Hopefully he doesn't have the tactic and he's taking knights a bit preemptively. Can probably put an event in there. This territory is good for us. And I think we're gonna do something like that. Something like that. So we're not getting this monarchy. But there's still theocracy and code of laws, so we can try to get those. Both dramas are right there. We can probably let that go. I mean, Shakespeare's here. And Gaudi, Marlena, Chaplin. So there's reasonably good reasons to try to get that drama. But how would we do it? I mean, I guess we don't have to elect Isabella yet. Cost us a rock, but we get a yellow token for age 3. Well, I don't know what I'm thinking. That doesn't save us an action. We don't build this bronze. Maybe we can wait since we have Isabella. So I think we can go ahead and put this territory in though. Probably take some resources. We don't need Colossus yet. So no reason to do that. So I guess with 6 resources we could do that twice. Take monarchy. So that does cost us. If we don't upgrade this. No, well, I guess with Isabella we would not have corruption. So that's nice. Put Isabella in, get some resources. Upgrade, take monarchy. So now we get the extra food also. We'll get monarchy pretty soon. I guess we're pretty well along through age 1 here at this point. I think I can get by without drama here. I think it's okay. It does make some of these choices a little harder later. So what, we could do that, I guess. We do have Pierre also with bread and circuses right there. So that's another option. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to try this. I'll hold the drama for a while, try to get into the monarchy soon. We're going to have some pretty good science pretty quickly here. Since both dramas are going, it's just less likely that... I guess it just kind of opens up options like Shakespeare. More likely we can get into Shakespeare, and it helps with Gaudi, kind of helps with Darwin. And then Marlena, Charlie. So I think there's reasons to try it here. Bread and Circuses is good. Helps with Gaudi and Pierre, obviously. Helps with Darwin. So almost the same amount of help, but I think I'm gonna try drama. You know, we can get Forbidden City, we can get Great Wall, we can get Eiffel Tower. We also have a couple of extra tokens, so we can try to play around the happiness issue with drama a little bit if we actually do start getting into these. So let's just try it. It might not work out, but we're gonna give it a shot. So end this turn. I think we can drop this aggression. Okay, no more territories, unfortunately. Dark Ages, unfortunately, as well. So not sure we're gonna want to seed that, but we'll see. So blue plays Frugality, builds a warrior, takes Bread and Circuses, increases population, develops Bread and Circuses. And red plays an event, reveals development politics. Builds a lab, increases population, develops knights, takes cultural heritage, builds a warrior, and plays fighting band. So they're getting Yanzitska going there with a couple of armies. And ooh, development politics got us 2 territories, which is pretty exciting. If we can get that cartography. So hopefully this makes it back around to us. In the meantime, we can probably put that developed territory in. Assuming we want to do that. Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be fine. Get a couple food, so hopefully we can get out of corruption here. And that is the last iron and one of the irrigations. We do have Machu Picchu in the game if we want to try to grab that. So what do we do with our turn? We kind of wanted this Forbidden City. I would be, I think, a little surprised if it makes it back to us. They both have some path to happiness with Colosseum and Bread and Circuses, so maybe it's less important to them. So, yeah. What do we want to do here? I mean, we can try to get this iron and build one. Now that we got 2 food, we have corruption though, so that does not get us out of corruption. We can build one of these, upgrade that, increase population twice. Does not seem ideal. Let's see if we can finish this. Increase population once and then take something. Seems a little bit better. So that is the last Bread and Circuses. But I don't think I want to take it here. Sure, it'd be nice to get that built. Maybe upgrade this. It's just not enough, though, unfortunately. So, okay, let's go back a little. What if we upgrade build 1, increase pop once, take urban growth? So we could do that. Just a little extra science. We don't quite... I mean, possibly we don't need Colossus yet. Are they each going to play an event? Maybe? Blue has not played one yet. So... questionable whether they will. And maybe we just... Yeah, I mean, we might want to skip on an event too, depending on whether we get cartography. We could get and take cartography and finish Colossus. Might make it hard to grab Forbidden City, potentially. But maybe that's a thing we just have to deal with. Unfortunately, we can't do that. And take urban growth. So next turn would be probably... I mean, that iron won't be there anymore. But we mitigate that a little bit with Isabella. So, interesting. I think we'll save this alchemy upgrade for the urban growth. I think we can finish Colossus, take the urban growth for the alchemy, and probably increase population. Red. Make it stronger. They have the knight out there. So I guess the question being, do we... I mean, we can't build that. So yeah, increasing population is really the only choice here. So I think this is the turn. And we're going to get rid of a bunch of cards. This iron could actually make it. Red or blue might not take it for 2. They may, but they have other stuff to do. And then it might make it back. We'll see. Okay, so we'll end this turn. I think we'll keep the vast in the card. I think it makes the most sense here. Red reveals, no, wait, blue reveals development of science. Builds a bread and circuses, takes Taj Mahal as their first wonder, and increases population, takes patriotism. Builds a warrior and plays Legion. And then red reveals development of civil life. Plays cultural heritage, takes theocracy, develops it, builds a knight. So maybe they have a new tactic now. Yeah, we're not very strong. Are we? That could become a problem. We have 2 territories in here. Cartography made it around, so we could take that. We are the weakest, though, which is bad. So we can get cartography and monarchy here. So we can get monarchy, cartography. We can build a warrior. Increase pop, build the bronze. And increase pop again. Take printing press. We're still the weakest. I mean, yeah, there's not much we can do about it, unfortunately. Yeah, blue very likely can get stronger here. So we're going to be sitting at weakest for a little bit. There's not a whole lot we can do. So if we didn't want to do that, we can, well, we can't, can we? If we didn't, excuse me, there's not much. We can get to 6, which at least forces red to try to get stronger. We could get the strategic territory. That would be nice. Maybe we just put this vast territory in and hope for the best. Otherwise, we're going to be hit by those events anyway. We might as well get our event in. That's what I'm thinking. But it's a gamble. Yeah, I think I'm going to put this vast in and see what happens. Okay, well that's just about worst case scenario. But as mentioned, it was going to happen anyway. So at least we got it out of the way. And when we win that vast, we'll get it back, hopefully. Do that. Build. I mean, do we even need to build one, really? I guess as territories come out, it will give us more ability to colonize them, which is good. We'll stay a little bit stronger. If we had only 4, then it makes it easier for red to do an aggression later on us. And then maybe increase pop again. In case of rats. So I am not really ready to deal with rebellion either. And based on their situations, they would have wanted to cede that, which could become a problem for me. And I don't have a great answer other than nothing. Nothing. I have no answer. The Great Wall, I guess. Theology is not going to be a great answer, I don't think. So outside of cartography, I mean, yeah, there's really, if we didn't do monarchy, we could get iron, but I think it's a little late, and we have Isabella to help with that. So I think arguably we don't need to do that. We're going to miss both irrigations. Maybe we want to grab one to help with the population later. Yeah, I think I like irrigation here. Neither of them, I mean, we're all not really ready for rats, so it will hurt us all. Now, if we're going to copy a tactic, now is probably the time before we get into age 2. So go ahead and do that. At least protects us against one event that blue plays. We don't draw cards, but we're in a pretty okay spot card-wise. Next turn, depending on what happens, we can upgrade alchemy, upgrade an irrigation, and still sit with an unhappy face. Hopefully we can win this developed territory relatively soon and get that yellow token that will help here. I wonder if this actually discourages blue from playing an event. I mean, the choice here is irrigation or increased pop. Increased pop will sort of give us a food. But I think irrigation will serve us better long term. I mean, we lost that yellow token, but hopefully we can get these at some point, enough that irrigation can support us. And then we're not fighting for selective breeding and iron in H2. So that's what I'm going to hope for, and we'll go with that. So blue reveals rebellion, and I have a discontent worker. It's terrible. Increased population, takes alchemy, builds 2 stages of the Taj Mahal, and builds a swordsman, so they're up to 8. Red reveals Reign of Terror. Ugh. That's terrible. And 2 stages of the Great Wall. Okay, so we and then I get some cards from Colossus. Blue loses Cleopatra. So we anticipated potentially losing a token. So not the worst. We have 5 civil actions, so that's not the worst either. We do need to put an event in. We at least know what they are, so that's good. What do we want to put in? I mean, at this point, new deposits is fine, but red's probably going to get to iron. Maybe we can get that coal. We'll have to see. Arms industry. Maybe. International negotiations, I'm not a big fan of here. Maybe new deposits, I guess. I mean, we lose arms industry now, but we'll probably get something by the time it comes out. Like that swordsman, maybe? Like, what is our turn going to be? Well, we're going to lose that out of worker. So that's not too bad. If we can get that developed, that'll come back. I don't see a lot that we need to, that we can or need to do here, so we can upgrade this. Yeah, unfortunate. Well, if we get developed, we can research swordsman. Get it in. So maybe we can do arms industry here. Strategic. So that at least will help us get stronger. I mean, I don't know. 9. Blue can do like 4 maybe. Red. Oh man. if red has a tactic, this is going to be kind of bad news here. Maybe none or 2, 4, something like that. 4, 5. And we're probably going to want to build. So if we do this, we cannot build 2 warriors again. We probably want to build 2 warriors. I mean, none of this matters. It's not going to cost 9. It's just a matter of what it ends up costing. So. And we win. Strategic territory. All right. And what are we going to put in here? So one of these is all we need. So that's pretty straightforward. We lose our worker. What did we get? International trade agreements, pretty great. This tactic could be nice. It's a good reason to grab that swordsman, I would say. Now, what do we do? So, develop territory would have been probably a little more helpful. Yeah, I didn't plan this happiness situation out very well, did I? I just built that bronze, and now I think I'm going to have to destroy it, unfortunately. Let's see, we got hit by Rebellion and Reign of Terror, and actually Uncertain Borders. So that's kind of rough. I mean, we probably need to build a warrior here so we can colonize something. Blue's probably going to play something, and so that we go down to 6. Yeah, so if 2 territories come out, I guess we'd want people for both of them. Otherwise, I mean, you would think blue will get stronger here, upgrade, finish, and stronger, so we're going to be weakest the whole time anyway. I wonder if we really need to rebuild the warrior. It's only a problem if both of these come out on blue and then red's turn. You know, which is relatively likely. Yeah. Do we want to take that chance? It's like a 33% chance. If we didn't build that, then we do still need to increase population. And we could take swordsman and I guess upgrade that alchemy. Okay, so here's the plan. I'm going to go this route. I'm only going to keep 1 population here, and I'm going to discard the events and those 2 cards. So we'll keep this packed because next turn I am probably going to not want to play an event. So I'll be able to play this pack to try to get some resources, and that could be helpful. And so we're running a small risk that will win developed and vast territory will come out. But if blue plays an event, they only have 2 cards, so it's possible they won't have one anyway. And if they do play one, it increases the chances that vast territory won't come out if red plays one. And then we won't play an event. We'll try to get this packed. We are discarding 2 colonization cards which is unfortunate. You know, the other option would be you keep one of those, but the resource this gives us is worth 1 bonus anyway with Isabella, so that would seem to be worth it. So we'll go with this. Okay, that's a nice tactic too. Makes swordsman a little less important. But cool, nice to have choices, although we'll have to decide which one to keep later. Ravages of Time is not a bad event to stick in. So we'll see how their stuff comes out, and yeah. The blue does not play an event. They take Eleanor, finish the Taj Mahal, elect Eleanor, and take Rich Land. So now they get to fish for some H2 tactics. It's good for them. Now red plays an event, reveals developed territory, which is good for us. So I don't know how much do we want to put in there. 7. I mean, this one ultimately is less important than vast territory. So we could do this, and then we'll have to... I guess do something after that. Rebuild something. I wonder if we'll play an event on our turn. We're going to be the weakest. And red put 2 age 1 and blue put 1 in. Maybe we don't and try to draw more cards first. These are red can do 2, 3, 4, something like that. Blue can do 2, 3, 4, something like 4 also. And I wonder if any of them... No, I don't think so. I wonder if they'll bid me up at all. So we can try 7 or 5 or 6. Because I would really like to win that vast territory, and getting all of someone's cards would be pretty nice. I think I'm gonna go with 6 here. I just really want to keep this just to make sure we can get the vast. I think 6 will be good anyway, but we'll stick with that. And get it for 5. Okay, so red was able to go to 4 this time. What did they do last time? 4 as well. So they're in the same spot. So we can do 1 of these and 1 resource for 5. All right, great. And so red plays Phalanx, takes a coal, takes breakthrough, and increases population. And now it's my turn. So I got the territory that I wanted, but then red got a lot stronger. If we wanted to put an event out now, it would be quite a risk. Red has 2 events in there and has been stronger. And yeah, I don't know. We probably want to wait. Blue has cards now, so it's likely they'll play an event. And we would want the territory to not come out on blue's turn. So we could offer this international trade agreement to blue. And see if they take that. I'm playing another game with this player, and I offered a pact in that game of open borders and then immediately got a bunch stronger. I wonder if they would hold it against me in this game and not take the pact. I wonder. I can't raid. And yeah, putting the event in is just a big risk. What do we have in here still? So I could lose building, lose 4 culture. I guess that's really about it. I've already been hit by the worst. Rats would be kind of bad. I mean, is that why red uses their action to increase population? I mean, they don't have many, maybe they're just banking it for the next turn, but you never know, right? So that's kind of risky. So if we skip, what do we do? We need the swordsman, so we can develop that and rebuild one. Don't need to worry about any civil unrest or immigration yet, so that's good. We could take navigation away from blue. They have, I don't know, other problems. So what else would we do? So I think, let's see if we go back. So strategies here, we may want to take that, and instead of swordsman, we can get strategy this turn. And then just build a warrior, which is better to send off for colonization anyway. We'll draw more cards, which is good, and we can hold more. We have 1 action left. We have drama, so I don't want opera. We have strategy, so I don't want warfare. Could grab masonry, I guess. It's a nice low-cost blue tech that we don't have yet. Or navigation. Basically take navigation away from blue. Blue has a lot of other stuff going on. Would they really want to get into navigation? I mean, I guess you could alchemy, upgrade, take navigation, and breakthrough. Which is a risk. Then it puts my vast territory at risk. I mean, masonry is certainly more useful than navigation for me, so maybe we just risk it. I wouldn't imagine they would do navigation first before the other stuff. So we're gonna have 6 science, so I'm gonna do probably, I mean, getting into irrigation would be nice. But I don't know, let's just say blue for some reason does do navigation. Then, yeah. So we'll have to make a decision on masonry navigation, but I think this is what we'll do. We'll do the strategy. So that being said, let's put this international trade agreement out with blue. We want a resource, we'll give them a food. And blue rejects the pact. Yeah. May have just not been good enough for them. I mean, the resource is certainly more helpful to me than the food might be to them. It'd take several turns for that to become valuable. So it makes sense. All right, so for our turn, we chose to not do swordsman, I believe. We want to do strategy. And then what we're going to do, increase population. And then choose navigation or masonry. And then I think rebuild this warrior, and then masonry or navigation. When you think blue would have these as a priority, monarchy and alchemy. But they can't increase population. So they can't really get stronger. Yeah, I mean, they can. They can just... I guess you'd have to upgrade this twice. And then you can't do alchemy or monarchy. So navigation would give them a quick way to get stronger if they wanted to do that. So they'd get stronger, they'd match my bonus, and then it would be harder to get vast. I mean, they don't have any military actions, so I don't know, do you think they're keeping colonization cards? So I can see taking either. Masonry is more useful to me, maybe marginally. Well, I could find a use for masonry. I'm not going to use navigation. I'm just going to hold it until the end of age 3 probably and not use it. So that's not ideal. I think really blue's not set up for navigation. I mean, you could research. You can't even grab it, so you have to place something and then take it. So if you wanted to research it, you play patriotism and then take navigation and play it, and then use your patriotism resources for something. So you can certainly do that, or you research alchemy, upgrade 1, take navigation, and have 1 action left. That's not great. Or you research monarchy, and then I guess you could take navigation and breakthrough and have a couple of actions left. I don't know, they're gonna have like a weird crunched turn anyway. And I'm not sure how they can fit navigation into it very well, but maybe they fit it in because they don't have a very good turn and very clean turn to go here. And then, I don't know, research it later. If they did alchemy and upgrade, take navigation, alchemy, upgrade, take navigation, play patriotism, I don't know. They could do 1 alchemy this turn, then do navigation next turn, and then it's just a long time until they get into monarchy. Either way, it's going to be a couple of turns to get into monarchy. So they could sort of take a detour and do navigation, and I'm not a big fan of them doing that. I feel like taking navigation is like the safer bet. I'm going to be more annoyed if they get into navigation. I don't think it's the right move for them, probably, but it hurts us both. I'm going to be annoyed having to hold navigation the whole time also. Masonry might be a little bit more useful. So, I don't know. Given that, either route is good here or equally bad here. I'm just going to roll a die and let that decide. So winter 3 is masonry, 4, 5, or 6 is navigation. I kind of hope it's masonry, but let's see what it says when we roll the die. This is 6. That's a convincing take navigation. So we're going to hold that for a while, but we will sort of guarantee that we're ahead on colonization for the age. So James Cook looks like a good target for us. We can, instead of researching masonry, the science would go into military text to get into one of these tactics. And so I don't know. We'll see how that works out. Thank you, Die. And we'll end the turn. Still think this raid's unlikely here. Maybe we can offer this another time. We got another territory. That's nice. The blue revolts into monarchy. Upgrades a warrior twice. So they did get stronger. And given that plan, likely they would not have taken navigation. Probably, unless having navigation there would have changed their plan, but that seems unlikely. And now 4A comes out. Unfortunately, we're the weakest. Red becomes quite a bit stronger. 1 more warrior, and they will be quite a bit stronger. Another 2-5 stronger, so 22 and a war. So we might want to think about preparing for that. Should we offer this pact again to somebody? I mean, we might want to just put an event in to try to get Vast out. So that we can build a cannon. Otherwise, we're in kind of a tough spot. Look what we've done to ourselves. We can't increase population. We can't use this one because it's discontent. So maybe we just try to get that vast territory. What do you think? I'm not sure really what else we'd even do this turn. I mean, we're almost certainly going to get warred on here. We can take this, and we would be able to finish it next turn. But not really build anything. We can at least get that cannon out. It would make it harder to do a war because we'd have some potential. I'm not sure what else we can do here. I think we need to put an event in and hope that Vast comes out and not some other thing that hurts us more. I mean, we can research swordsmen. I guess destroy one of those. And then, so we can... We are probably a less attractive target then at that point. He's going to be what, 22? He's way ahead at the moment as well. We're going to have to figure out how to actually get some culture pretty soon here. Yeah, so the swordsman plan gets us closer, but I think we should just try to get Vast to pop out. If we think we're going for Cook, which seems likely, and putting historic territory in is good, and hopefully it makes its way back out soon enough. Which it may not. But let's try. Okay, here goes. I'm gonna let go of the button. No. Darn. Yeah, that does not help us all that much. It's only the first cannon. So now we just have to make ourselves a less attractive war target. Right? How do we do that? Maybe like that. So now we're set up for if we can get the cannon, we can build one. We can't actually research it though. So we could, since we think Vast might come out, and assuming that we're going to win it, we could develop swordsman, destroy this because we're going to get food, build that, take cannon. So we're not getting any of these resources right here, which is unfortunate. But we're taking cannon, otherwise someone else would. And we don't look like a great target, or we're less of a good target at least, because we can get up to, let's see, so 12, 13, 16, plus 5, 21. We can get to 21. Which is pretty good. We'd have to destroy a, well, depends if we get vast or not, but we'll have 9 and it would cost us 3 and 5 is 8 to get both if we win the territory. So we could do it. So let's go with this. I don't want to upgrade this yet. I want to save the resource so I can use this to colonize the warrior. So let's try this. It's not great, but we'll see. I'm not going to annex anybody. Popularization of science could make sense. I still like Ravages of Time here. I don't know. International trade agreement might not have a place at this point. Since we're having this tactic, I wonder if we'll get into this one at this point. I still might be nice to hold on to for some reason. I think since I have my tactic, I can get rid of this, right? I'd be curious to know if others would get rid of that or try to hold on to it. I think since I have this tactic, I can get rid of this one. Hopefully I can. A blue increases population, builds a bread and circuses, upgrades a swordsman, takes engineering genius and selective breeding. Red attempted an aggression against blue, and it failed. Takes the railroad, which will be really good for them when they actually are able to finish it. This coal. Okay, so we're not weakest. We would like that vast territory to come out now. And we probably can put... I don't know. We might not want to put Ravages in yet. We want to get to H3 before Colossus crumbles. So maybe... popularization of science? What's the turn look like here? Yeah, we can't quite... We can almost do this war. But I think we can't quite do it. Oh no, we can do it. What am I thinking? So we could do that. And blue has 6 resources. If I could build 2 more of these, would be the most straightforward thing. You get 2, 4, 6, be up to 18. Okay, well, that's an option. What else can we do? Might not even be worth really thinking about it until we put the territory in. International agreement is probably fine to put in here. It's hard to tell where the science is going to go by then, and ravages is what we'll put in next turn. Maybe we can get a new deck by then. Yeah, we can't quite put it in yet. I definitely don't feel good about being ahead on science. Although, I mean, really no one can... It's going to be hard for anybody to get into it in the short term. And it's hard to know who will be stronger later on. He's going to get 5 and lose 3. So it'd be 19. We were at 20 something already. So it's reasonable to think we could get that when the time comes. So I think we need to put this in and hope that the vast territory comes out. Ah, come on. That sucks. And all right, so what do we want to do? Nobel is here for 2. And that's not bad. I wouldn't mind keeping Isabella just to help make sure we win this vast territory. And we have 1 card plus the colonization is pretty good. So what else could we do? These are a little too far to grab. We don't want Gaudi for 3. Revolutionary Idea would be good. We don't need Rifleman. We don't really need these 2. We probably don't want Darwin. I mean, we're not in a horrible spot for him, but probably just not good enough. We don't have anything to efficiently upgrade at the moment, but we will, so it's not too bad. We don't really need scientific method, and architecture would be fine. Especially if we want to go drama into journalism with Shakespeare, that could be helpful. Efficient upgrade would be helpful for, I guess, coal, if we're able to get that. So we could do drama just in anticipation of Shakespeare. We could do irrigation and upgrade. Both of those are not ideal. We don't really need this because of the vast territory we hope to win. I mean, it will help. We will probably want 2 food production. You know, we probably will want it upgraded. We may just build an irrigation in the future instead of this. Probably won't need the selective breeding. So, I mean, we could also do this. Although I built the wrong thing, but you get the idea. So we could do that. Wouldn't mind getting this revolutionary idea, though. And then, I mean, we're going to develop irrigation, so because we could develop that and take efficient upgrade. So then we can use this on something at some point. We don't need this irrigation yet. When we get vast, we could just build one instead of upgrading potentially. And then we get some resources for something. I think the only things we're going to efficiently upgrade here are later on alchemy to computers, or one of these up to resources. So like we could save 2 resources on this upgrade. It's not the full value of efficient upgrade, but it's something. We don't have great resource production, and we don't need that food right now. So I guess this is an option. And then we probably upgrade that because we would prefer blue not play the event here. If they reveal the territory, then we're more open to an aggression. Which I guess you could argue is a reason to have Isabella, so we get to keep our card. But it's also a reason to have Nobel, so we're stronger. If you're a big fan of Nobel, then this is a pretty clean turn right here. I just really wish Vast would have shown up already. Although in this situation we do have corruption. And Isabella helps with that. So I guess what we could do, irrigation, upgrade that, possibly take those two. Don't know exactly what architecture will be used for yet, but presumably it would be for drama and journalism. An efficient upgrade, don't know exactly what it would be used for, but presumably up to coal or drama to movies or something later on. But I think this is what I would rather do. I'm going to go with this, and we'll see what happens. We can keep this war. I think that might still happen. We don't need these two tactics. We have our tactic here. We want to colonize with this. These two we're going to play. I mean, we're going to want to try to push events. So I guess maybe we get rid of this pact now. All right, no more cards. No more defense cards. Blue develops selective breeding and takes Nobel. All right. Red tries another aggression against blue and fails again. Then breakthroughs the coal, upgrades once, takes rifleman and urban growth. So they will start to get some production now. What else did blue do? Oh, right, because they lost 2 CA from Call to Arms, so they only had 3. All right, our turn. We're finally going to get this vast territory out. I think on this turn, I think we're going to try to get into cannon, so we're stronger and can win arms industry. And also for stronger, maybe it slows this deck down. And I think I'm going to put Ravages in because I wanted to hit earlier in H3. Don't want it to wait till the end because it will not serve as well. So we're going to take a little bit of a gamble and put Ravages of Time in to get Vast. And then see how that goes. I guess we didn't really think about it too much, but another option could be a War of Territory. And if we do that, we can't really, well, no, we can't get a person in. And that's, I mean, we need to get the territory out, so it's not a good idea. So we'll put Ravages in. And Vast comes out, and we are willing to bid, I don't know, something like 9. Let's just do 10, and I don't think it's, we'll hope it's not that much. And we win for 6. So that is a unit and a resource. It's probably what we want to do instead of the card. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine that we want to use the card here. Well, let me think. Yeah, we still have Historic in here, and we may lose Isabella, so I think using the resources fine, and we don't have a lot of resources either, but this does still let us do the cannon and the swordsman for 8. And then we have this card still for Historic later on. So I think this is fine. And now we want to do that. Take Republic. And then what? And then we don't really need Republic here. We already have Monarchy, I guess, and I mean the extra civil actions would be nice for grabbing yellows generally here. But I'm not sure that's where we want to put our science right now. And do we want to try to revolt into that? Let's see, we'll probably be strongish enough next turn to do it. Get 5. So now we would not have corruption either. I guess the problem would be the leaders we want might come out right away. Then we wouldn't be able to get them. We could still research Republic. We lose a military action. Get 2 civil. It's fine with strategy. And then we can grab yellows. It's a little challenging to fix some of our issues right now. I mean, I guess the biggest problem is resources. And another option, we're going to play that. Another option besides Republic would be take rich land and maybe increase pop here. So the rich land, I guess we'd be hoping for the coal, or better than that probably would be an early oil. And then we could use that for our resources. And in terms of leaders, I guess Cook, it's less urgent to get into these urban techs with Cook. With Shakespeare, he's going to help us fix our science with journalism, and we can get drama. And then maybe we'd want this urban growth. But I think not really knowing what's going to happen, it's hard to tell there. Another option might be lean into military even more. Get Napoleon. We do have a war and a couple of aggressions. And we could do those against blue, probably. I mean, blue can grab these and get into them slowly, a little more easily with Nobel. But I think the problem with that also, no, I mean, it's not a problem, I guess. And it's just sort of rich land or Napoleon. We're probably going to be strong enough without Napoleon, and this gets me yellow tokens, which I don't really need. Spy gets me science, which I don't really need. I mean, I might draw another aggression too, But I think 21 is going to be strong enough for a little bit. And then we take rich land and just hope we can get a coal or an oil. I think that's where I'm leaning. I think one of those other two leaders is going to be more helpful. I don't think we need to do a war to catch up at this point. Red's going to definitely get stronger. They won't get cannon, which is good. But they'll get to 21, then when they finish this 26, and then upgrade some of these in 30-ish. And then put out another tactic, and it's tricky. So we're going to be paying that tax for a while here. So, I mean, that's going to take several turns, and I mean, hopefully by then we get Cook or Shakespeare. I think Shakespeare would be a little bit better here for us because it gets us into journalism more easily. So we would get drama, journalism, and like build one of each or something. And then hold Shakespeare for a while. So that would be 6 culture. We can start to catch up a little bit. But we're going to, I guess, be investing people and resources on these armies to stay caught up. So what if we took a different approach slightly? What if we didn't try to be strongest yet? We just set ourselves up for arms industry and then sort of hope international agreement doesn't come out? So that, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that might look something like that. And then we could get the rich land and Napoleon. And maybe blue will not play an event, then red will play one, and we get arms industry. And then on our turn, we can probably not play an event because we don't want ravages or international agreement to come out. I don't think we want international agreement, but I mean, we can elect Napoleon, but then we have corruption is the problem. So by keeping Isabella, we get a resource and also avoid corruption until next turn. And then what would we hope to have happen next turn? Coal, I guess. We could get a drama out and built and elect Napoleon. And I don't know, build an army and do a war, I guess. Could be an option. We would get up to, what exactly? 2, 5, 7, 20, right? 2 plus 5, 7, 20 plus 4, 24, right? 25? 25, I think. And maybe we could try to do that. Depends how much prep blue does this turn against it. Yeah, I'm just not sure that... I mean, Cook's not going to help us on economy much here. I mean, it's getting pretty late anyway, but he gets culture, and then we don't need to focus on culture, but Napoleon opens up more wars and aggressions. Oh, and Shakespeare does help with those, but I'm not sure that we want to like invest into journalism this late. I sort of think we have Napoleon to do some stealing things, some aggressions and stuff, and then we just hope for computers, professional sports, and Mandela. We can get operas with Marlena, and that could work. Winston to do more wars. I think we just have to get a little bit lucky here, I think. I don't know. I think I'm going to try this and see what happens. I don't really want to wait around anymore for those leaders. I probably am not going to want iconoclasm to happen. And I'll go ahead and get rid of this event also. Keep everything else. Those are nice. That's helpful. Oh, and coal pops out at a perfect time. Awesome. Blue upgrades 2 selected breedings. Lex Nobel takes cannon and develops it. Takes cavalrymen and urban growth. Alright, in red does reveal arms industry, so that's good. Get some resources. They upgrade a coal, develop rifleman, take efficient upgrade, upgrade a rifleman, take selected breeding. And now it's our turn. So let's see, we have a bit of a Hail Mary with this historic territory. We could try to reveal that. We don't really want ravages or international agreement to come out though, so I think it's worth not doing that. I don't think we're in a position for a war either. Okay, back at the beginning here. So I think what I want to do is elect Napoleon and then discover coal, upgrade twice to get out of corruption, and then take opera. And we're gonna have a lot of food, so we might have to deal with corruption next time or increase population a bunch, but that's probably fine. We don't need anything critically in the next hand. I mean, unless something really good from H3 pops out, but we'll upgrade this. We'll lose the drama, but we have opera, which is good for Marlena and Charlie Chaplin. And then for Mandela and Pierre, we'll just look for professional sports, which is better than team sports anyway. Arguably, I suppose, but we have to choose here, and I think opera's good in our situation. Plus we have historic, which hopefully we can win, which will give us some happy faces for the, I guess, the Mandela route. Yeah, I mean, it's a close call. I think you go either way. If you knew what was going to come out next, you could choose one, but there's more things that opera will help with here. And then also, so we're stronger than blue, so hopefully they don't play an event. They typically have not been, so hopefully they continue to do that. And then the age is guaranteed to end after their turn, so Jansitska will die, and they'll go down to 16 strength. So I will be strongest for their turn as well. So this seems pretty good. Or as good as we're gonna get. So let's discard some cards. We definitely still need the tactic. The territory could be nice. The aggressions could be nice. Wow, these are all good cards. I guess the war is fine. We'll get rid of that and end the turn with that. Okay, well, we got a different war. Probably one that's more appropriate for us, but we'll see if we're in need of yellows later or not. Okay, blue reveals ravages of time. So my Colossus crumbles. That's unfortunate. Okay, the Taj Mahal goes down, increase pop, build a cannon, take reserves, develop alchemy, upgrade. And then red. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah, I guess that's because of the digital rules. My Colossus doesn't actually crumble until my turn. So even though the card was drawn, I still get my 3 cards through Colossus. That's great. So we discard Drama, and then Jishka is gone, and Iron is gone. And I get a yellow token back. Red reveals National Pride, and they have the most. Develop selective breeding, upgrade twice, disband a warrior, take cavalrymen. And wouldn't you know, the first card out is Marlena. And we just lost Drama. So, you know, if I just knew what cards were going to come next, I would be a lot better at this game. So that's unfortunate. What did we draw? Loss of sovereignty, impact of government, and an armed intervention. It's not the best cards. We are strongest though, so we want to play something and hopefully win that historic territory, or international agreement would be kind of interesting as well. So what event do we want to play? We don't have any happy faces. Cold War, I imagine, is what we want to play here. Politics of Strength could be good if we anticipate being stronger, which we do. I mean, blue actually will pretty easily get 1 more cannon, and then they'll get 3. Well, I don't have my tactic out, but once they do, 3 plus 4, 7, plus 6, 13 more. We just have the 1. Let's do Cold War. We can probably put the other one out before it rolls over if it looks good. Okay, that's decent for us. It's even more food. Now Colossus goes away. We get 2 culture now. Yeah, we're gonna catch up any minute. Now we don't have a lot of civil actions or science. How does journalism look? Not good at all, which is probably why we didn't take it. So I guess we can do that. We get strongest again. I wonder if we want to play our tactic, just so we feel even better. But I mean, I would love blue to commit to something else before I put that out. I guess we could have considered this war also, but yeah, I would have rather either of those other 2 cards come out. So I think I will not play the tactic. I mean, really no one else is set up for Marlena. So we can upgrade this coal. And then we have a happiness issue. Not quite. What else might we do here? All right, Wave of Nationalism is probably good. Journalism, rifleman we don't need. Scientific methods, probably not the right time for that. Breakthrough. Let's see, what are these? Civil unrest and immigration are in, but not before my next turn. If they both play an event, can be bad. And actually, increasing doesn't even help. I have to do it twice. And rich land, it's like the best time to use rich land. We could build a cannon instead. Didn't we have this issue before? That doesn't even help either. All this food is really challenging on irrigation here. We can elect Marlena. I mean, so I guess you could actually. Well, I mean, we're going to lose Napoleon's force strength. That's probably not worth it yet. All right. What do we do here? I guess increase pop and wave of nationalism. I mean, you can't go too wrong with that. Is there anything anyone else wants? They don't want scientific breakthrough. They do. Sorry, scientific method, that is. But do they get into it this late? I mean, so we're probably going to do opera in Marlena next turn, I imagine. But maybe another leader pops out and we grab them. We just don't have a lot of civil actions, so we need a government also. We're going to have 12 science, which is not a ton. But it's what we'll have. There's a revolutionary idea here. So we could do that and just take some corruption. We're producing 9, so it's not the worst thing, and trade it for 6 science. That could be worth it. 2 resources for 6 science here. Then we have 10, 18 science, so we can actually get to a government. Yeah, I think that's good. Wave of nationalism is really good also, but we're better on resources right now. And again, we're gonna have this food issue next time where we have to increase a bunch, but at least then we'll be getting opera and some happiness potentially. Let's go with that. And we, 5 cards. Wow. Prosperity, we're not going to play. Politics of strength, we might. Lots of sovereignty, I mean, could be interesting. Maybe this armed intervention. We have time to get a bunch of those back. 3 more. This war, we got rid of a war last time. I guess we can get rid of it again. That's probably not the war we would do if we do a war. So 2 more. We want the defense card for the territory. So we have 2 of those. We need the tactic. I don't know. Impact of government, we probably keep. Politics of strength, we definitely might play. Yeah, that's a tough call. Loss of sovereignty. I mean, that could happen. Maybe we just give up the ghost here on these aggressions. It doesn't look like we're going to go that direction. So what are we going to have? We're going to have a defense card, tactic, politics of strength, defense card, impact of government, loss of sovereignty. That seems fine. Another one. That's good. Got another armed intervention. And blue reveals international agreement, and we are strongest. That's nice. Increases population, builds bread and circuses, upgrades in alchemy, takes breakthrough and scientific method. And red takes Churchill and revolutionary idea. Interesting. So, Red Cross popped out. And that's interesting because we have 11 food. So we could get 3 stages of that, which is a good bit of culture. Then red finishes it, and we get another 3 for the territories. What else is interesting? We'd only take 1 card. So we could get military theory or tanks. None of those are good. We want air forces, so we could get that. Let's see what the turn might look like here. So our strongest, we can play another event, reveal historic territory, which would be pretty good. We'd be using 9, so we'd have 2 food, so we could still get 1 pop out. So blue here definitely wants Pierre. And Mandela showed up also. What do you think of that? We don't have professional sports yet. We didn't get team sports. Yeah, so if I knew that all these leaders were coming out, I could have made good decisions 2 turns ago. So, I mean, we can do that. And elect him. And then we just need professional sports, and we'll make a lot of culture. Okay, that's one option. We can... Marlena. And start getting some culture that way. I guess if we took Mandela, if we were going to take Mandela, we would not want to win this territory yet. We'd want to win it later. Red's also... Red's going to be getting stronger here. At least they really want to. And that means being able to defend against that is important, and Marlena helps with that. Plus we have an answer for culture here with operas right away versus hoping professional sports comes out. So we really can't gamble on Mandela here. Same sort of with Pierre. We're just going to have to hope we can do better than blue does with Pierre. I don't think we can take Pierre and expect to do well. We can do Chaplain, but we don't need the happy faces, and I'd rather get her. She's also giving us the happy faces, and hopefully by the end, as much culture as he would anyway, plus the military bonus. So I think she's going to be better here. So the one thing is that we need air forces. We could go ahead and reveal this now too, probably. But if we stay stronger, it's less of an issue because they may not play events again. So we could get this Red Cross, and it would get us 12 culture on everybody. Well, 15, I guess. And then we wouldn't play an event. What event would we want to play anyway? Politics of Strength, maybe, but I'm not sure we can count on that with red here. Might be able to maybe do it with blue, but I think red has a good chance of getting stronger, especially as we transition. Impact of government, I don't feel good about that yet. And impact of balance, we could do balance, but there's not like a strong need to play an event here. So we could take Red Cross with, I should take Red Cross and one card down here. Elena, I guess. So let's assume we get her with a free action. Then we can elect her. Now we actually have a swordsman we can bid without breaking the tactic, which is nice for that territory. And then we can do opera, increase, build one, and still have 2 actions to take air forces. That seems pretty solid. We're not... Potentially we won't get Cold War in this situation. We're also not producing as much food anymore. So I guess, yeah, I mean, that's a little bit of a problem because we're going to use our food on Red Cross. So we take Red Cross in frugality, then we could actually get 2 population out and still build Red Cross. I think then we can't get into operas though. Is anyone else going to take Red Cross? I mean, it's going to cost 4 for blue to take it. So no. And red hasn't finished this, so there's no way that red can take it. So the only reason that's good right now is the international agreement gets it for free for us. Otherwise, it'll cost us 2 or 3 to get it. And if we take it, then we need to build on it. Oh, yeah, of course, if we take it and build on it, it's going to take 3 of our actions to do that. So we're only going to have 2 left. And the 2 left would be for, like, air forces, and that's it. So we really can't take that here. So we probably just play an event. And this might just go on by. I don't know if anyone will take it. So we can play an event, and then our turn... Our turn would be... yeah, we have this number of actions, and the turn would be... Take Marlena. I guess we could play this revolutionary idea. We need air forces. We don't... well, we have a lot of corruption, too. Yeah, so let's think about this. So I think we can do something like this. Something like that. I guess the advantage of keeping Napoleon is we're stronger for something, I guess. And if with Marlene, you're not quite as strong. 17, which I don't know if it's a big deal, really. I guess there's maybe a small preference to have blue not play an event. Once we use that, swordsman will be at 14, and then we are weakest on red's turn. So it would be a little better, I think, if we did this. And we're stronger, we'll still be stronger on red's turn, so we just don't have to worry about these H2 events, so we can play an event on our turn. So if we do this, we're looking at Red Cross. I guess there's also Hollywood here. So if we're doing operas in Merlino, then Hollywood's actually a pretty good option. And we're not playing an event here. I think it seemed like we don't have a super compelling event to play. I mean, I guess a reason to play the event is to get the territory on our turn, right? And then we could win it for like a little bit cheaper. And if we did that though, then we'd have to sacrifice a lot to get Hollywood. With this plan, we can actually take Air Forces and Hollywood, which I think is a pretty good deal here for us. And it just means we don't play an event to push this out. We'll wait, hopefully, until red. If we were going to put an event in, it'd probably be impact of balance, and we don't. I don't know. I mean, it's 3 culture, but I don't think we need to do that right now. So being constrained on CAs, I think it's just a good idea to take advantage of international agreement. So we do take it, and we want Hollywood and Air Forces. And that's all we can take, unfortunately. I mean, we're going to have a food problem pretty soon, so frugality would help with that, but we just can't get Air Forces then. I mean, we get frugality, and we used all of the actions on our turn. Is opera 1, 2, 3, population, and take Merlina. So if we didn't do opera, what would that look like? Yeah, I think we'd end up either with corruption or too many cards in our hand if we did that. So here the turn is opera, increase pop twice, build an opera, build a swordsman, take Merlina. And it gets us out of corruption. It gives us a unit to colonize with. Okay, so we have what we want. We can finish this. Yes. Democracy comes out. Isn't that interesting? I don't think we can take that. It's a little tough with our science and everything too. But blue maybe takes it for 3? That would be pretty expensive though. I mean, what else are they going to do? And red taking it for 2? Maybe? I think we just stick with what we wanted to do here. And we'll hope that we can get something going here. What do we want to get rid of? It's a little tricky here. The aggression again. Maybe we just go ahead and get rid of loss of sovereignty here. Politics of strength. It could still be pretty interesting, although it looks a bit like red's. I mean, it's going to be pretty strong, potentially. Impact of government, you know, is going to be good. Yeah, let's get rid of politics of strength. Oh, okay. Keep an eye out for modern. Oh, there's modern infantry. Gonna fall away. But there's another one. We'll see. Science is gonna be tough. Blue develops scientific method, takes military theory and Pierre, and increases population. And builds a cannon. And plays fortifications. Alright, so they made their move on the tactic. Red finishes the railroad, finally, and upgrades a warrior and plays classic army. So up to 26. And so what do we want to do? Well, we want to reveal historic territory. And probably want to do that with impact of balance, I imagine. We just, we don't know what impact of government is going to look like yet. But impact of balance might be tricky, but I think it's the better choice of the two here. And I think I want to reveal this territory now, and we'll just make it work. So the nice thing here is that we have all these cards we can use, and we'll get them out of our hand, so we don't have to discard stuff. Hopefully it's not going to cost 14. I can't imagine that it will. Blue can barely even bid here, I would say. Red can sort of barely even bid also, so hopefully this works without costing too much. And we win it for 10. That's pretty expensive. Yeah, it's pretty expensive. Why did they want that so badly, I wonder? That is what we're gonna do, right? So what else could we do? We could do that. Oops, sorry, that. But that seems less good. I guess we could also do one of those, but that seems less good. Yeah, we'll do that. And then, what do I know? Well, we're sort of catching up, but not really. So now we have to figure this turn out here. So we could, let's see, let's play that and maybe build one of those. Now we are second strongest. Blue can, you can fix that really easily just with military theory. And then we're weaker than red. We'd like to be in a position to win that Cold War. And if we put this tactic in, also sets blue up really well to copy it in another turn, and they would get 7 more strength just from doing that. And that seems bad. So I'd like to avoid that. We also have this other cannon tactic. And we need modern infantry, which is right here. And we can get enough science to get into this tactic with Marlena. So now we have Marlena, a little extra culture here, which is good. And we're doubling this tactic, which is good. We're stronger than blue, but again, blue can fix that, so we can upgrade again to get stronger than red. And now we're at 28, and we are 2 cannons away from another 15. So we can get to 43, and we're a couple of turns away from an air forces unless we can get Cold War. But I think this is pretty good, and we have 2 turns left. What do we do with 2 turns? Or 2 actions, sorry. Urban growth. Seems really good here for a opera. We don't have a lot of actions, so paying more for reserves seems unnecessary. And increased population, maybe? We could take democracy. But why, really? We could get a revolutionary idea. We could get into one of these computers. This one's... I mean, I would imagine that's going to get taken by red. So I think we're just going to be holding this democracy and not developing it, unfortunately. I think we just can't take democracy here because we don't know what's going to happen, and it's going to clog our hand up, and we don't have the science. This computers is going to go away. The thing we know we want to do is build an opera. So I think we increase population over playing revolutionary idea. We may not have anything to develop next turn, but we're almost certainly going to use a population next turn. That's my take anyway. Maybe I'll be wrong. Interesting, we got a war. So we should try to make that happen. And now we see Cold War. So apparently what I did, I was looking at this turn while on the road in the car, and I played an event. So let's just talk through what happened. Blue developed military theory, elected, oh goodness, come on, elected Pierre, took reserves, took rockets, and upgraded to scientific method, one of their alchemies. And then red also didn't play politics, played revolutionary idea, elected Churchill, took multimedia, increased population, and built a rifleman. And that's where they're at now. Now we're here, and I played Impact of Government and Reveal Cold War, which was very nice. So this is where we are now. We're not in a horrible spot here. I think we need to choose a line. We have to either go military for this war, or we have to try to go culture with operas and Hollywood. And I think either could work here. And I think the 2 paths look basically like this. So if we want to do the military route, we would maybe build 2 cannons and take 2 reserves. And I think our limit on strength is going to be 71. Because we can get 28 more to the Tactic 9 choice plus the Air Forces is 28. So we max out at about 71. I think it's reasonable that they could get to 50. Blue could get modern infantry, upgrade a couple, build a couple cannons, and they would get to 50-ish. Red can build 3 more here, and you'd get 3, 6, 8, 16, 46. So I'm thinking you get about 25 culture from that. And if we're committing to that, we're not going to get much from this wonder or the operas. The upside is you can take the culture away from somebody, whoever is in the lead, which is probably going to be red. And the other option, if we wanted to go the culture line here, it's something like that. So we can develop both of these next time for the Nobel bonus. And then upgrade computers a couple of times. I think we're going to get 3 productions because there's not many civil actions and hands are full. So I think we get 3 more productions, so 27 resources. All in all, 16 for Hollywood, 6 to upgrade these. So that leaves 5. So it lets me, I can build 1 more cannon. And I'm a little worried that's not enough. And I don't know what the yellow situation is going to be. There's still some in there. Just don't have a lot of civil actions to get them. So if we want to be a little bit more conservative, we could do that. So this saves us 2 resources because we'll build the next opera next time after engineering. With 7 resources, we can build an Air Forces, which gets us 14 strength. So we stop at about 42. And so if no one pushes military, I think 42 is probably going to be pretty close to fun. There's a bit of a problem for red. They won't get fundamentalism or Manhattan Project. They have a bit of a happiness issue, so professional sports would be really good for them. And military theory. I don't know that they'll be able to take both, though, with the number of actions they have. But with military theory, they could actually start to threaten a war. So you get 5 and they could build 3. So a problem with this plan is that if someone does push military, then we're not in a great place to finish the rest of our culture path because we'll be using resources to defend on military. What's blue going to do besides military? I mean, they could take professional sports and upgrade to get a little stronger. So I think, the culture route has the potential to generate a lot more culture. Maybe 30-ish or so more, I think. the war path, I guess, protects us from others going into military, and if we did the war against the person with more culture, then it would end up being better. Like, there'd be a bigger culture swing. If Red does get into military theory, though, it's actually going to be quite hard to do a war against them. They just have so many resources and so much food. We could always do the war against Blue. If we do the war too, we sort of have to play around the Olympics, which might not be too hard, because we could actually do the war next turn, and if we didn't do the Olympics, we could do the war. If we did do the Olympics, then we could wait till the next turn. It would be mostly fine. So I think I'm going to go the war line in this one. I think both could really work, and the difference in culture is really close between the two, I think. And the variability that could happen the rest of the game could really account for that. The impacts we draw. We're not holding any impacts. We can't really optimize for that, except the ones we played. And both routes are actually pretty hard to improve there. We don't really get a bunch more science from getting into computers, maybe 4 more, depending on how the next turns go. And so it helps with the impact of architecture and science, but we don't know where those are or if they'll come out. So I think I'm going to go with put some pressure on them. And if the Olympics does not happen, we can do the war. If it does, maybe we have an event to play, or we can play a pact or something. This also slows this event deck down a little bit, hopefully. We win any of the strength ones, which would be refugees. Would be great to get another population. Crime wave to not lose. Yeah, crime of independence declaration are less of a big deal. We still don't have a good freedom of movement target, but maybe they won't play events because of the strength difference. So I think this is what we'll go with here. We likely won't finish Hollywood in this line, but it's still possible. All right. And we can get rid of one of these tactics. Well, yeah, let's do that. Let's keep this H2, make them think it's something. Okay, well, we got another war, so we chose the right line here. Interesting. If we can get a tanks, it's probably not worth getting into this at this point. Anyway. So Blue reveals civil unrest, which is not bad for us, but it is bad for Red. They also declared the Olympics, and they take Manhattan Project, build a stage, and take Engineering Genius, and disband a swordsman and build another cannon. Red reveals Independence Declaration. Blue has no colonies. Red takes professional sports, increases population twice, builds a rifleman, and upgrades that coal. That coal upgrade's interesting. I mean, maybe they're just trying to get less corruption. They don't have many civil actions, and that's not... I don't know how that pays off. Maybe impact of industry, they put that in. Which isn't too bad for us. All right, so we took the war path, and I think we're sort of committed now. You know, we could sort of hedge our bets here and, I don't know, build an opera, but I don't think that's going to be good. It still lets Red get into other stuff. Like, they could get, I guess, communism? Man, I don't know. Red's just in a tough spot. because communism makes them more unhappy. So you take communism, develop it, get into professional sports, build one, and then I guess you're okay. And then you can go about your other business. But I think Bread's in a position where they could fix their problems if the right situation happened. I think Blue is in a tougher spot. They just don't have enough resources. We don't know where the Air Forces is going to fall yet. But even if it came out, Red can't really take advantage of it very well. So I think with 2 wars, even though the Olympics are happening, we war Red first and then Blue second. And I mean, Blue has, they're going to have 6, 9, 13 resources. So you can build a cannon. I think it sort of still holds. They can get to about 50 each. But once Blue gets to 50, they can't really do anything else. They can build, what did I say? 3, 6, 10, plus engineering genius, I guess. So if you count all of that, it's 5 plus 7, 12. Plus 3, it's 15. So you can spend 10 on that and 5 here. So I mean, that makes sense. So you get 13 for that and 8 for this, 21. So you're up to 49. And that's about all you can do. You can't do anything after that. So you get to 49. I'm going to be at 71. So that's 25. And then the next turn, they only have 3 resources. So you can't do anything. I mean, maybe they get some patriotisms, but they don't have enough actions really to do that. I'm going to spend 2 here, 1 increase pop, build, and you have 2 left. Maybe you can grab something. So I don't think they can get much past 50. I think Red could if given the time, and I think they can get to about 50 this turn. So I think we just have to keep the pressure on and not let up here. So we're going to lose 8 culture. We want to war against Red. That's right. We're going to do food. We're going to do resources. Increase pop twice. Forces. Build 2 of them. So it's 71. Let me just do last sanity check on strength here. So Red has a lot of resources, but really their problem is happiness and military actions. I think what's most likely, I guess, is you get cavalrymen, and then you can build 2 of them. So you'd get 3, 6, and upgrade 1. 3, 6, 7 plus 8, 15. So you get to 49. I think that's probably most likely. You know, if they're able to get tanks out, then it would be, so it'd be 2 more, 4 more than that. So you get to 53 or 55 or so. Somehow manage to get an Air Force and 2 of these. It's in the mid 50s again, also maybe up to the high 50s, but I think that's really unlikely. I think it's just going to be hard for them to get it from the row, get it developed, and get the population. So I think this is what we want to do. We lost 8 culture down to 41. And so let's just say we win by about 20. So they'll go down to about 50. And we'll go up to about 65 or 70, I guess. So it'll be 50 to 70, something like that, to 65. Then we'll do the war on Blue, and we'll get about the same thing. So it'll be 50, let's say 60, 70, we'll get that, it'd be 90, 500, something like that. They would go down 20, so from 70 to 50. So something like, we'll be ahead by, I don't know, very rough napkin math, 20 or 30 or so. Bring in impacts. So it's actually, it'll be close. But I think we're committed here. We're going to get 2 rounds of production, so it is possible for us to finish this wonder just for 8. We did not get a mechanized agriculture. So our impact to balance is not going to be the best here. But maybe theirs will be worse because they'll have to destroy things. Guess we'll see. Okay. I don't imagine we're definitely not getting into this tactic. We definitely are doing another war. And we have two versions of this, so get rid of it. The blue plays reserves. This is population. Finishes Manhattan Project. Plays reserves. Builds a cannon. They're 49. Red develops professional sports. Builds one. Increases population. Uses Churchill for science. And rocks. Develops cavalrymen. Builds one. Builds two. Upgrades one. So we're 53. So right about where we thought they would end up. And so we win 23 culture. So that's pretty good. We'll be up by about 20 on red right now. We're tied with blue. But I think, as we suspected, there's really not much else blue can do. If this event is anything, there's really nothing, unless it's a territory, I guess. So let's say, yeah, if it is a wealthy territory and they spend a swordsman to get it, then they could get air forces and develop it. You can't get a population, but then they just destroy something. They'd have 12 and build an air force, and they would get, so they're down 2, they get an air force, and they're up 10 plus 3, 13, so up 11, so they get to 60. Would be about my guess. Unless they, do modern infantry. Take modern infantry and get wealthy or autonomous. Either one. Then I mean, have we seen positional army? I don't know. No. So they have that. Can they do anything really? I mean, with 9 resources, you can get from 3 to 7 to 4. They could upgrade 2 of these and get 1 positional army, and that's not really any better than 2 of these. They can't do that and an air force. So one thing we could consider doing is getting a person over here to bid for a territory with, just in case that happens. So we're probably going to do this war against blue. I think red is a little more scary of a target at this point. Red got... Oh yeah, they did get Nobel. Nice. So we can get Nobel next turn with mechanized agriculture. And then efficient upgrade. So we also have civil service here. So that certainly helps with impact of government. So we should look at doing that. Then what? We're not, oh, well, I mean, we're doing okay in science. I was going to say we're not going to win Impact of Science, but we're actually doing relatively okay with it. The first computers got discarded. So we could look into that. We can't actually develop it, though. So maybe we take civil service, but don't develop it, but we won't be able to do that and anything else. So this gives us 4 points for impact of government. So we might as well, I mean, I guess it would help us next turn, but we could, instead of doing that, do something for the Nobel Prize instead. This really, I'm not going to help with much here. So maybe we do that. And then, yeah, and then I'm not sure. Maybe, should we try to end the game? It seems important, probably. Because, well, I mean, blue could get a fair bit stronger. But I don't want red. Well, red can't, anyway. I was gonna say I don't want red to do a war against blue. But they don't have the action, so they could get communism. No, they don't have enough science for communism. So red really can't do anything. Develop multimedia and build one of them. Yeah, so I don't know if we need to end it. I don't know that anything good is going to come out of not ending it. They both produce more culture. Red produces more resources, blue produces more science. So we're not at a huge advantage there. You know, I mean, that. So we spend 8 science and we'll get 6, maybe 12 out of it. This helps us make sure the impact of science is not the way we lose, which could be important. And that's our entire turn then. Let me think about that for a sec. I think we're in a pretty good spot here. So I think what's interesting to look at is how can we lose the game? And there's a couple of ways that could happen. Sort of worst case, I think we go into impacts 30 points ahead. So that's worst case, assuming we make this the next turn, the last turn. In ways we can lose, potentially would be impact of culture and science. Because blue potentially could win both of those. We would maybe get second place, although red has this multimedia, which would get them ahead on both. So potentially we could get last place on both, and blue gets 28 culture on us for that. So we would like to have that not happen. And there's a couple of ways we could do that. I mean, the only way to force the game to end is to do civil service and take 3 cards. So we have to take multimedia. And it's just a matter of which of these 2 cards we take. And I think we have to take computers. And then these 2, doesn't really matter, whichever one someone else doesn't want. Probably urban growth would be better for red, although it's going to fall off. Whichever one we don't take is going to fall off, so which one would blue want? I mean, they're not going to efficient upgrade into oil, I wouldn't think at this point. So I guess urban growth for something. Doesn't seem to matter much. So here, we're taking 6. There's 8 left, so it will definitely end. And on the next turn, I think what we do is destroy coal to build an alchemy, depending on what we draw, of course. But that should put us ahead of whatever red can do. They'll have 5. That gives us 6, and it forces blue to deal with that by upgrading, if impact of science is a thing. It doesn't deal with impact of culture, so we will still be last on that. We can't build another opera. We're 1 resource short if we want to finish Hollywood. So, I mean, there is the option where we don't finish Hollywood, but in this plan, we don't have a population to actually put into opera. So that's a small problem. I mean, we could destroy another coal and build an opera just because the 3 for industry is not going to make or break us as much as the culture would. So I guess we could do destroy twice, build an alchemy, build an opera, and we don't even finish Hollywood necessarily. Or we could. I mean, any of those are kind of a wash, but strength, I don't think anyone can get to us on strength. And I think everything else is just a little bit, like someone can get 4 for population wonders is, red could get a couple. We're good on progress. We're good on competition. Agriculture, we're not real great on. I mean, we would get 2, and red would get 10. So, I mean, that is pretty substantial. And blue would get 10 as well. So that's 8 points. So that's a pretty big one. Industry, no. I don't think red can really threaten the same way blue can here. Architecture, we're probably fine on getting another opera or would help there. Strength is good, heaviness is good. Science is what we're talking about, technology is good, balance is fine, variety is good, harmony is like fine, and we talked about culture. So yeah, agriculture is interesting too. But really, we just can't do that if we want to end the game. If we don't end the game here, like, what are the risks? Red gets 2 multimedias, which is a problem. And they get more impacts in. Spaceflight comes out, and who knows where that lands. I think it's going to be hard for anyone to finish, but who knows where it lands. Blue can't really do as much, but I think red has more time to threaten with things, and I really just don't want to deal with that. So I think this is the right play here. You can't get into computers, but that's not the point. We're just keeping it away from, I guess, blue, because blue could develop it, upgrade stuff, and then be untouchable there. So I think this is the play. We're not getting Nobel Prize, but again, I don't think that 4 culture is the big problem here. We are getting 4 from impact of government, the civil service. So yeah, I think this is right. Let's hope it is. And okay, let's double check. I did do the war. It's blue. The age is going to end. I'm going to lose navigation. That's it. Yep. Looks like we did everything. Interesting. Well, now we definitely know that destroying these is going to be fine. Blue offers a peace treaty pact to us. We already have the war out against them in the age is going to end, so I guess it just protects blue from an aggression on the next turn. And gets him 2 culture. Gets me 1 culture. And I'm not even sure that it really changes their turn much, because there's not much they can do. So, yeah, I mean, I guess I can give blue a couple of extra points here. I don't think it's going to make any difference. I mean, I'm going to give them 1 more point than I get. And then if I lost by 1 point, that would be kind of crummy, but I think this is a good sign. I mean, they didn't play an event, so it didn't reveal whatever this event is. So it's not resources, so they're not going to be able to build anything. They can build 1 more swordsman, maybe. So I'm going to get about 25 from him. So I'm not gonna lose to blue, and they're going to go down to 80, 55 or so. So they're going to be real close. So it's going to bring blue a little closer to red by doing that. And I think overall in the championship, I think red's doing better than blue. So maybe giving blue a little bit of a boost would not be a bad thing. So I think we can accept this and see what blue can do with it. And there's no other, I mean, we don't have an aggression to play here. We can't do the war, so it'll be the last turn. And there's no way to draw cards, because Politics of Strength is already gone. And blue sent a single swordsman away. And then red disbands a knight, kills one immediate, and builds one. Takes modern infantry, uses Churchill for science and resources, and is able to upgrade 2 modern infantries. It's up to 47, so I guess, oh, we win this war. That's pretty good, up to 100. So red did that. Does red have impacts in? Yeah, so maybe you'd think competition, because that's not going to help them with strength. Could also just be throwing us off the scent there, but we're pretty fine on competition. I don't think we need to worry too much. Yeah. So I think same plan as before, right? We want to, I think the biggest threats here, because we're going to be up by 30. Biggest threats are impact of science and impact of culture. So we want to try to be better in both of those. So I mean, the best that blue can do is tie us on science. So, and it's not coming out on their turn, so we don't need to worry about that, assuming we do our plan. So we are not playing impact of industry here. So we're probably going to be disbanding these. I mean, I guess we could arguably play one of these 2. I already have a pact with blue. I could do international tourism with blue, potentially. Give them a little bit more culture. I think in the league, I'd probably rather have blue win this than red. So I could offer that pact, I suppose. The turn is going to look like probably destroy Air Forces because I don't think they can get above 56. If they upgrade this twice, it'd be 56. And we can get those. We need to build this to threaten on science. So now Blue has to do something about that if he wants to win it. And we do this to threaten on culture. So now Blue, really can't do anything to win that. The most they can do is build this bread and circuses, and they can't even do that because they don't have a government, so can't do anything there. So we have 4 actions left. We can't pull anything else down from here. If we do this, I guess arguably we could do something like that, which would get us 2 more for impact of balance, and potentially 6 more for impact of agriculture. Someone might have wanted to do that because wasn't good for me. So it could be, it's guaranteed 2, could be 8. I guess the alternative is we build another one of these for guaranteed 4. Doing this helps with impact of harmony also. So we'd have 3 here instead of just 2. So it could be worth it that way too. This one helps with impact of architecture. But I probably like having it over here more, I think. So then I guess it just goes back to whether we offer international tourism or not. And yeah, I think I'll offer it. So we'll each get, well, I'll get 2 more, they'll get 1 more. So, if they think they might catch up, maybe they won't take it, but let's give it a shot. And Blue does accept the pact. So we get an extra 2 culture, and Blue gets an extra 1 culture. And now we can do the rest of the plan here, which is to pull down an Air Forces, and then 2 of these, build an opera, an agriculture, or an irrigation, build an alchemy, and take a card. And it doesn't really matter which one I take here. I can't do anything with any of them except just develop it. Not that valuable. Let's just take a tank. And then we can end the turn. So Blue does reveal impact of balance, and that's not too bad. Disbands a swordsman, builds a farm, and upgrades that, which won't be enough. Develops oil, takes patriotism. All right, let's see how it goes. Happiness is in there, which doesn't make any difference at all. And strength is in there. We win that. Blue gets 2nd, which is good and good. Government comes out, and Blue and I tie on that. So looking pretty good. Variety, 16, 12, 10. Okay, looks like we're gonna get a good outcome here. Agriculture is in there. So it's nice that we fixed that up a little bit. Okay, that's the game. So we got first place in this, blue got second, red got third. So that's really nice that we win. It helps, I think, in the league, the championship standings, that blue got second over red. So overall, really good. Yeah, so what happened this game? So we started with Hippocrates and put in some territories, got the cartography, and then got Isabella. Then I think we got hit with like 3 events early, like Uncertain Borders and Rebellion and Reign of Terror, I think. But we had what, the vast territory. We had these 3 territories in the deck, and we had Hippocrates. So I get, losing the yellow tokens, worst case, was not that big of a deal for us. Took a while to get this vast, but we eventually did get it. That was helpful. And then we grabbed the navigation so no one else could try to get it. Then we just held that till it got discarded. So we had we had Napoleon for a little bit, and then H3 started and the Colossus was ravaged, but just at the right time where we still got to draw cards before that resolved for us. And I don't actually remember if the 3 cards we got were helpful at this point. And then let's see what happened. Well, we had to make this decision right at the end of H3, or beginning of H3. It was actually kind of a tough decision. No, it was right at the end of H2. We were holding drama, and I think we had to decide whether to go to the like on the culture route, or, well, at that point I guess it was not even that. It was should we go for arenas or theaters for Pierre or Marlena? And we were holding drama, and team sports I think was in the card row, and we had to decide whether to get drama out and take team sports or whatever. And I think we decided to let drama go, take opera, and let team sports go, because professional sports would be better than team sports anyway. And then I think like Marlena came out immediately. It's like, oh, I wish I had drama, but we were able to get her with opera. And then maybe a turn or 2 later, that's when we really had to decide whether to go culture or war route. And culture was, I think, getting into dramas and some other stuff I don't even totally remember now. And the war route was basically just taking 2 reserves cards and getting ready for a war. And then at the end of that turn, we drew another war. So that was good luck. Good luck there to get the second war. And that decided it for us, and we were able to get a war off on both of them successfully, and that made the difference. We did not finish this Hollywood, which we got with international agreement, but it ended up being good. So yeah, it was a little bit it's like sketchy through the mid game a little bit, but yeah, it was a great game, great finish. Thank you for watching. Okay, so 2 down. Let's go take a look at the results. All right, here we are at the CGE tournaments page for the Intermezzo Championship, and let's scroll down to Group 5, which is our group, and we are in 2nd place right now with 10 points. So we've won our first 2 games. Blue here is who just got 2nd in this game, and that put them into 1st place with 11 points, but they have finished 2 more games so far. And red here is in 3rd place with 7. They've only finished 3 games. So at this point, things are looking pretty good. I guess we're the only one with 2 wins at this point. I mean, I'm sure that will change. But hopefully the 3rd game goes well and we can improve here. And with that, we'll catch you in that 3rd game next. So see you here. Thank you for watching. And yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.